Okay, so we're here in Vavau, Tonga, and we've heard of a pretty crazy story. This boat behind us here, Blue Beryl, they lost their rig sailing from Galapagos to French Polynesia, and they sailed it for 2,000 miles with a jury-rigged spinnaker setup. So they want to talk to you guys and share their story with you guys. At the same time, a boat has just come in. It's called Dance Me, and they lost their rig 200 miles from here. So they've just had to motor in. Brits almost killed them with the drone, but
it wasn't me.
I'm kidding. And it wasn't us. But at the same time as we were flying our drone, there must have been another drone up. And somebody's flown their drone so close to them that she saw it coming in from the side, and she ducked, and it went above her head and under the bimini and didn't hit anything. They want us to help them jury rig the same setup that they used to get to French Polynesia from Galapagos. So that'll be quite interesting. They've got Dyneema line. They're going to give them their spinnaker pole. That's going to be the makeshift mast. And then I think we should probably try sea trail that and see how many knots they can do and stuff like that. It could be quite interesting.
Morning.
Hello. Morning.
How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Okay, do you want to just quickly introduce yourselves?
We are Yvette and Alex. We sail around the world on a beautiful boat, a Koopmans 44,
Yeah.
named Blue Beryl.
And how many miles have you done, do you think, roughly?
Well, half of the world.
Yeah, well, we sailed from the Netherlands
Yeah,
to here. We're
yeah.
now in Tonga. So yeah, it's halfway.
That's a long way.
Yeah.
And so when was the start of your Pacific crossing?
In 2022,
Yeah.
we crossed from the Galapagos Islands.
In your opinion, what was the condition of your rig at that time?
Very good.
Yeah.
Well,
how old was it?
Not even 2 years old.
Yeah, we bought the boat
Oh,
in Malaysia, shipped it back in the cargo ship to the Netherlands.
Yeah.
We did 2 refits.
And where was the rig replaced? There was only
In
two
the
years.
Netherlands.
In the
Amsterdam,
Netherlands.
yeah.
You guys did it or someone else?
A professional rigger. No, we go for the best. And
Right.
it was good, and also the sails, they were brand new. We were really prepared with this boat for this trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
I was quite proud of it, and it's a big gap in my ego.
We'll find out what happened. So you've left Galapagos. You've made it all the way to Galapagos. Did you stop in Galapagos?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, for 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Had a really good time there. Fueled up, and we got ready. And after 7 days, 1,000 miles out of the coast of Galapagos, in the night, of course, everything happens in the night, we heard like a big noise. And I first thought we hit a container or something, because I actually did not think about the scenario that a mast can fall off,
Right.
especially not ours. But then Alex told me, "Oh, you have to come on deck right now." And I said, "What happened? What happened?" And he's
No.
like, "The mast fell down."
Yeah.
What? It was just all overboard.
And how were the sea conditions and wind and stuff?
So the wind was 17 knots. The day before it was 18, 19. And the waves were from 2 sides, so quite wobbly.
Yeah.
Was not ideal. But we had 2 reefs in the main, 1 reef in the cutter, and 2 reefs in the Yankee.
Okay.
So we were quite prepared for the night.
How did the mast fall? Was it forwards, backwards?
On starboard, forward, starboard. So the D1 broke, the lower shroud. Niks aan de hand, gewoon allemaal nieuw. Nieuw van CS rigging. And the backstay. And it was all overboard.
You can still see it in the railing because we haven't fixed the railing yet.
It's a scar.
And it pulled out of the swage, or how did it fail?
So
you know?
the running backstay broke in the middle.
Just snapped in the middle
Snapped
of the
in
wire.
the middle, yeah. And but it was already thick Dyneema, so
It's come crashing down, and you've now got to abandon it. How was that process?
So luckily we have a steel boat, so the damage to the hull was not that much.
Yeah.
And so what we try to do is try to save many things as possible. gaan een poging wagen om de zeilen eraf te snijden en kijken of we de mast nog kunnen redden. And so we put a few ropes on the winches and we winched it in, so the mast was close. And then on a certain moment there came a big wave because the mast was up and the balance was gone, so we moved into the wind. And then there was a wave and then the mast hit the boat.
Kijk uit, kijk uit. Liefie, kijk uit.
And I thought, okay, now we have to get rid of. And in the meantime, I was unscrewing all the turnbuckles.
But we first really tried to save the mast to just we can get it all
Or
up and then
something.
take with us and
Blue Beryl never a dull day. Nou, dit is er weer een hoor. Jongens, we zijn nu toch nog aan het kijken of we de mast kunnen redden. Want ja, waar krijgen we in French Polynesia nou een mast? Maar er gaat een hele lange zitten worden. Oh, jongen. Die golven.
So you tried to salvage the mast, but it was just too difficult.
Yeah, and too dangerous. Eh? So a mast it's too dangerous to salvage on the
and
sea
it had
with waves.
3 sails on it as well, so all the sails were fully out in the water, so it was quite stable. The boat was stable because we had like under the boat it was a lot of
Like
sails.
a ballast kind of?
Yeah.
Oh, wat erg.
So once we let it go of the mast, then the boat without a mast, then we noticed how it's moving
Right.
in the
We're
waves
26 days on the ocean, like, it was insane, really insane, because you have no mast, so the boat rolls every wave. It's like, and now we are talking for 5 minutes, but then it was like weeks with the boat rolling.
And so, how many miles from Marquesas were you?
2,200.
And so you jury-rigged a mast?
Yeah, luckily we had the old Dyneema from the two before we re-rigged the boat for the trip. I left the old Dyneema in the back of the boat, and Yvette said, "Oh, give it away." And I said, "Oh no, maybe we can use it or give it away in French Polynesia." But luckily we had so much Dyneema that we can rig the mast, and also later on the temporary mast that brought us to Papeete.
So what did you rig up as your makeshift mast?
So we used a spinnaker pole. We had this all on board, like a lot of stuff to prepare it. And in 2 hours we put the spinnaker pole up. We rigged it with Dyneema, and we had many sails like sun cover, rain cover, storm sail. Half of the cutter sail we cut away from the old mast, and we put it like a flying cutter sail. Yeah, it was quite and we did 3-4 knots.
Yeah.
3 or 4 knots.
Also with 1 knot
well,
current,
yeah.
but
And some days we did 2 knots, but it depended. But
it was good.
in the end, I think we did 24 days for 2,200 miles, so that's not that bad actually.
Not bad at all.
And there were boats that were with a normal mast and rigging and sails that were even slower, but because they had no wind. We had quite good wind conditions, I think, and we had a lot of current with us as well.
And we used the engine only on the last day because we thought it might be your rescue. It's your last good thing that you have. So we tested it every three days and we checked it. But it's funny, all the people that helped, there were boats passing by that say hello. Good to see you. They want to give diesel and water. It was really nice. So we had a lot of diesel tanks.
We got it.
Yeah, the best thing is that they pass by and say hello to the VHF. That was the most valuable.
For me, that was such a relief because I got quite scared and I got a bit panicking. So I got to stop.
Het is nog een lange weg te gaan. Komen er wel.
I was really happy to know that there's still boats out there.
Yeah.
And just to see another boat and to talk to them on the VHF and for me that was such a relief. So that was really helpful.
So the VHF, you on a handheld or did you rig up a spare antenna? Or?
Yeah, we have a spare antenna on the back.
Okay.
So we can use our AIS and the VHF, and also the handheld was working really well.
Yeah.
And normally I'm always a bit fed up with all the spare parts we have because it's just so much stuff on the boat. But this time I was like, okay, yes, you can have as many spare parts you
Yeah,
want.
yeah.
Because that really helps you out. We had like double of like a lot of things.
And so you were saying the other night that this is almost some sort of a record for someone who's done that many miles with a jury rig.
Yeah, we have checked. There's no monohull that did a longer distance with a jury rig.
that we know of.
That we know of.
That's amazing. Wow, so you might have the world record for
Yay!
Yes. We were laughing about this trip, but actually it was so tough. It was so we lost so many kilos, and yeah, it was really, really tough.
What are some things that you've learned or other people can learn from your experience that you'd like to share? I think just hearing the story, the obvious one that I just heard was have a spare VHF antenna.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah,
that's for sure. But also I think all the communication that helped so much, because that was so nice that we can talk to our family and friends and the professionals. That so many people they try to help you out.
Yeah.
Seldom they were already busy with the mast, and we loved it. And then the e-perp for a real emergency.
But you never thought about setting that off?
No, because we didn't send a pan or an SOS or a Mayday because we were not in danger.
Yeah.
The scariest moment is that the mast fell in the water, but then it was no danger. So some people they ask during the trip, also other sailors, you can abandon the ship and let it sink.
Oh yeah.
We didn't think about it because it's our home. It's like everything we worked for.
Well, I thought about it for a minute. No.
Land in zicht. Zo blij mee.
And so fast forward to now, where did you get the new rig from and everything?
There was no mast on Hiva-Oa that we can use to go to Papeete.
Yeah.
And it was the distance to Papeete from Hiva-Oa was too long with the emergency mast. So we salvaged the mast from Uahuka. 3, 2, 1. And we rigged this aluminium pole, the mast, with we made spreaders, and with all the Dyneema we made it a proper mast to get to Papeete together with my dad.
Right.
But the spreaders were from an old leather, bolted through on wood. So you have to be really, it was fun. All the sailors they helped, and I was we sailed to Papeete, and it was an adventure as well.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, because we had to go there because the new mast could only come into Papeete. So it took a while.
But if you look at the mast now, it's
a Selden.
It's a beast. It's like it's a Selden mast. With 2 spinnaker poles, nice tracks, big boom, and new Hydronet sails. So we are ready for the next half a world. The help from other sailors and companies that try to help us to continue, that's enormous.
Yeah.
And that's also nice that we can continue, that we like to help other people that need our help.
Yeah. So this is the one you're going to give down to me?
Yes. So it's already rigged on the deck.
That's what you used to get over here?
Actually, I had other ones, but this is for them, prepared to give it away.
So as Alex just mentioned, the help and support they received from the sailing community, even just the moral support as they sailed past on the Pacific crossing, was a huge factor in their story of success and resilience. That's why, as soon as we heard that the sailing vessel Dance Me needed a jury rig so that they could get to Fiji, we all jumped at the opportunity to help them out. They were about 200 miles off the coast of Tonga when their rig came crashing down, and knew that their best bet of finding a replacement mast would be in Fiji, which is 400 miles away. So we wanted to jury rig their boat so that they could sail there and keep the engine as the backup means of propulsion. I also called my friend Jonas, who was one of the owners of Selden Mast, to get his opinion on the matter.
He said you only need 3, this is his opinion. He
Yeah.
said 3 because it's Dyneema, and he said keep them as far forward as possible so the mast doesn't do that. And just fix 2 to there and one to the forestick.
We put this big one in front.
Yeah.
So we have 3 halyards in front of the boat, so you're flexible with your sails in front.
Great.
And we put 2 on the back.
Yeah.
So you can have a sort of mainsail, like an optimist sail, on both sides.
Okay.
So the first step was to rig everything to the head of the mast while it was still on deck, because once the mast was raised, it would be difficult to make any adjustments.
So this is the forestay. Then we need ropes here to attach the sails.
Is that off our boat? See, Jamie always wants to throw everything off the boat.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, and I was like, I remember saying we should keep that.
Keep it.
The next step was to make a base for the mast to sit on, so we headed back to Parlay, but I couldn't help but take a moment to reflect on the realities of having to do this at sea.
Well, that was super interesting. Gonna be honest with you, I've never thought that scenario through to that extent before. You know, you always wonder, hey, what are you gonna do if the mast comes down, and how do we ditch the mast or try salvage? You go through those scenarios, but you don't think, if you got something up there, how many halyards are you going to need? How many stays? How are you going to put a sail up there? Which sail are you going to use? Do we have enough sails? All of these things that I'm starting to think about now. It's a really, really eye-opening experience. Didn't have enough tools over there, so we've just come back and we're going to make the mast step. We put the hole in it, so we're just going to make a nice solid platform so that pole doesn't try to punch through the deck or slide around or anything. And then hopefully this afternoon, if we have time, we'll test it and we'll see if we can actually sail with the spinnaker pole as a mast, a jury rig, as they say. This was a gift from the chosen one before we even left Mexico, because we had nothing to really cut the old compression post out, so we'll use it to cut this bit of wood. Go. Job well done. Solid mast step. Yep.
So up went the mast, with many hands making light work of it. But again, I couldn't help imagining doing this with just 2 people in the middle of the Pacific as the boat was rolling around mercilessly. It was cool to have Alex here to learn from, as he had literally just been through this and sailed over 2,000 miles on his jury rig. He even went up and did a rig inspection to make sure nothing was going to chafe or get twisted at the head of the mast.
He's got so many options. He's got 2 halyards on the back side and 3 halyards on the forward side.
It's easier. Okay.
He could put 5 sails up if he wanted to.
We then tried out a few different sail combinations to see what would work best for them.
Stay still. There we go.
And Hans had a really cool orange storm sail that we thought could work well, so it was time for a sea trial.
Everything's good?
Everything's good?
They're gonna keep an eye out for us.
Okay, that was beam on. Now we're gonna go downwind. We're doing 1.8 knots. It's not enough wind out here. We've only got about 5 knots of wind, but we're still doing about 1.8 knots. So that's not bad at all. So now we're going in reverse to try to get a bit more wind in the sails, make sure this is gonna work for them. So that they can set off across the Pacific to Fiji.
Okay, how fast are we going now?
3.2, man!
It's fun! Alright.
We're gonna get 4 knots. Trying to get 4 knots.
Let's do it.
3.2! How does it look? Obviously we got no mast, we got no wind vane, so we can't tell, but I would say, what? It's less than 10 knots, apparently. Yes. So we're struggling to get 4 knots, but yeah, we were sitting on 3.5 knots easily.
Celebrating Tonga.
Cheers, guys! Well done.
So we did
3.5 knots.
We did more than that.
How does it feel?
It feels great because we still have a way to go with fine-tuning and tweaking things to get more.
So do you mind taking us through what happened? You were sailing to Tonga?
Yep, we left Niue after 8 wonderful days. Then it was around 9 o'clock in the evening. I still had 5 minutes to wake up Lisbeth, who was sleeping there. And in these 5 minutes, I thought, well, let's look around. Let's see if there are any vessels. And I looked at the horizon. And while I was looking at the horizon, our mast just came this way and fell that way.
Wow.
I yelled, Hans, what was that?
What did you do?
And he answered, Lisbeth, we've got a problem. The mast went down.
And I said, okay, you prepare the angle grinder while I take the color and this saw with to saw metal, and I got 75% done with this very small little hand saw. Then this boom of us was just laying there while the mast end was up here, going up and down and creating damage and scratches. I said, uh-oh, we need to act more quickly. And then we came here, and then a whole bunch of people were already, I don't know, decided to form a welcoming committee. And we got beer, we got hugs, we got...
And the mooring.
And the mooring as well.
Yeah.
What we kind of remember as laymen is, yeah, you need to check these from time to time.
Yeah.
And although 14 years, the age of this boat is pretty young to have this kind of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a 30-year-old boat.
So the chain plate was 14 years old, but the rig was 4 years old.
Yes, and there's nothing wrong with the rig.
Yeah.
I mean, the rig was perfect. Yes, and it's just the chain plate connections. So I talked a bit about the upper deck chain plate. There is this below deck chain plate which is up there, and this goes down to a structure of stainless steel, which is actually a cage around the boat here.
Right. All of this looks super solid, huh?
Everything looks super solid on this boat, in my eyes. Well, you can turn this around. I didn't know that.
Well, that's adjustable.
Wow.
Ah!
Wow.
You could tension the...
Thank you. Yes.
You can tension the shrouds using this.
Wow. We learn every day, you know? Yes. Yes.
So on the bottom side here, there should be some studs, like the bottom half of what broke.
Yes.
Yes.
Are they just rattling around here somewhere?
No. Well, yeah, it's above the chain plate, which is here.
You see that there?
Yeah.
Ah, that's what you mean.
Yeah.
So the chain plate, the bolt goes through it.
Yeah.
And there's a nut there.
Yeah. So the nut's on the bottom like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So if we pull that down, we can.
If you pull this up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
There we go.
Thank you, Colin.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Holy shit! Wow.
It's even bent.
That's bent.
Whoa.
That's bent.
So there's another one.
There'll be another one on
Let's
the back.
hunt for the other one.
Wow, guys, that's crazy.
Well, okay. Well, one is enough for now, but the other one will look like this.
That's got a sideways force on it somehow.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Because this is sort of facing that way, and the shrouds are pulling it that way.
Yeah.
That might not be the best design, huh?
Yeah.
But this would have been welded to the top
Yeah.
half of the chain plate.
Right.
It's
Exactly.
been a bad weld.
But it's
it's
bent,
pro-
which is the
it's-
crazy part.
That's the amazing thing, right?
I'm sure it was just a mad rush, but when you looked at the bottom of the chain plate, did you just see a little stump of like the remainder of this?
The bottom of the chain
The
plate.
bottom of the upper chain plate that
Yeah, we
ripped
did.
out.
Well, I never saw that
That
one.
that was in the
That just
ocean
went-
already.
already gone.
That
Yeah.
flew
You never got a
away.
chance.
Yeah.
Yes.
To me,
I don't know.
this
Yes.
2 of these seems not enough to hold the rig up.
I was the first person we talked to. He said, "I have 4 in my boat."
Oh yeah. So it was pulling. It's been pulling this way, huh? And
Yeah.
bending those studs that go down. Yeah, they're just welded underneath this thing. You guys have insurance for this
We
sort of
are
thing?
well insured
Yeah.
by a top insurance company called Panthenius. And,
Well, we'll keep in touch and we'll see how you go. You hear that, Pantanius? People are watching.
Alex and Yvette on SV Blue Beryl ended up getting paid out by insurance for the damages, but the whole ordeal still cost them 30,000 euros of their own money. They have a GoFundMe in the description below if you'd like to give a little their way. Hans and Lisbeth on SV Dance Me made it safely all the way to Fiji with the jury rig that we made him, and has now got all of the rigging and sails ready to ship from Sweden next month. He is confident his insurance company will cover everything for him. This was a very eye-opening experience for all of us, and I hope you learned a few things along with us. Hit the old subscribe button if you're new here, and we'll see you next Sunday.